Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt186. This is the ASUS Zephyrus G14 lineup, my likes, dislikes, and advice. Before you burn too much of your time, most of my approach on laptops especially is more hardware and horsepower oriented and not the ever-changing software UI suites baked into your purchase. Also, I have to dash hopes fairly early with this one. A lot of these lidded designs will look like they feature the anime matrix stuff, but this one, and most of them for that matter, just don't. So make sure you read the variation specifications or you might end up real saddened by your purchase. Now that I've made somebody sad about the anime matrix LEDs, I'll cheer them up with this beautiful advertisement from PCBWay. Another big thanks for helping make these videos possible to PCBWay. If you have a project in mind, be sure and swing by and check out the massive menu of offerings from them. Anything from CNC work, 3D printing, to blank slate PCBs. PCBWay offers you a lot of services for you to get your start on. There'll be a link down below. Don't forget to go check them out for all of your possible project needs. ASUS delivers a solid Ultrabook gaming experience with a lot of why did they do that questions popping up for me. Specifically, I am looking at the GA402RJ, which is a variation of most of the GA402s or 402Rs specifically in the lineup. It will share enough in common that hopefully anyone looking into the lineup can take away some information on what they're looking at from this. I'll start with some of my dislikes so you can decide if they would be dislikes for you also, or perhaps they're totally non-issues as far as you're concerned. My biggest hang-up is there is no Ethernet port for LAN. The laptop is all wireless, and I like Wi-Fi as an option of course, but I like to be able to hardline for multiple reasons. Faster downloads, direct connect to my network. I like it enough so that this would be a deal breaker for me all by itself. Instead of a TF card media reader, I would have preferred a LAN connection. Number 2, half of the RAM is soldered. If you didn't know that before, you do now. If you want to swap RAM, there is only access to one SODIMM slot. So if there's a problem with the soldered ICs that you may encounter, you'll probably just end up being out of luck. It feels somewhat half-baked. Either solder all of it, or make it so that users can access 2 SODIMM slots for upgrades or even repairs in the future. Number 3, laptops are known for getting hot, and this is an expectation, a reasonable expectation that you're going to have some heat with a laptop. Laptop gamers, you know this. It gets quite warm under the hood specifically in this one, and it's most notably noticeable on the top left of the keyboard. I rest my pinky up there and it startled me almost. It wasn't like burning hot, but it was enough so to make me go, man, it gets hotter than any of my other laptops on Surface Contact. Alright, those 3 things were my biggest complaints. They're out of the way, so let's break it down. The one I have is the GA402RJ, as I mentioned, and it comes with the Ryzen 9 6900HS, paired with a 6700S mobile GPU, each with its own pipe and fan for cooling. Installed is 16GB, 8GB which are soldered, of DDR5 4600MHz, labeled by Kings in the Business with the Micron branding. For storage, a super fast, also Micron 2450 1TB NVMe Gen 4 SSD, making the meat and potatoes of the hardware of this excellent in my book. A single finger can lift the lid, and intelligent design causes the screen side to raise the back of the laptop off of the surface. This helps a bit with airflow, or at least helping not to suffocate your fans so terribly. Speaking of the fans, here's an example of what you can expect to hear under load. On the right side of the laptop is a TF card reader, USB-C 3.1, which is also a display port out, and 2 additional 3.1 USB Type-A's. On the left side, DC power in, HDMI, another USB-C 3.1, which is, again, also a display port out, and a 3.5mm audio headset jack. The keyboard is a 10-keyless, pretty basic membrane chiclet-style keyboard, which feel like they have brace scissor switches underneath and offers a very nice actuation experience. While it's also RGB backlit, it's hardly noticeable in a lit environment. I'm indifferent to this personally, how bright lights are I mean. So long as they are useful in darker environments, I'll be a content potato. When we lift the lid, we notice that there are vents located just below the screen, and this gave me pause, but a majority of the heat finds its ways out through the left and right side, making these more like exposed fins for additional air cooling. Let's talk about the screen a little bit. It's a pretty brilliant and exceptional screen. Smaller than we find on more common 15-inch laptops, it's a 14-inch 500 nit 120Hz IPS panel. I thought it was going to be an SS IPS panel, but it's not. It's a straight up IPS panel. The colors, vibrancy, it's a pretty nice built-in panel. That much I can say. I can't say enough good about this panel. It's really nice that it's here, and you can make use of HDR easily and enjoyably with something that's 500 nits. It's a 16:10 aspect ratio at 1600p. The only downside is it's already on a pretty small laptop, and I'll be the last one to complain about pixel real estate, but it does feel almost like a smidge of overkill in a good way on this particular laptop. Talking a little bit about the battery, gaming on battery makes me cringe a bit. If you're somebody who games on battery, that's cringy to me. Brace yourself for the obvious answers here though. How much battery life will you get gaming on battery? It's going to totally depend on your settings and what changes you make as to how much time you're going to get out of it. I'll always recommend plugging in the game. Most laptops will power cap you on battery and be less efficient as far as gaming goes to be more efficient as far as battery life preservation goes, but it does have a very solid 76 watt-hour battery that will carry you through plenty of screen time when not gaming. Look, overall, playing games and running some basic benchmarks showed me that it's a very capable, nice laptop. As far as hardware goes, it meets my expectations as far as performance goes. Without speaking with specific pricing in mind, consider what MSRP at launch was, and where a lot of these sit on the spectrum now, they may very well be worth every cent, and be forgivable for lacking basic expectations like a LAN port or 2 SODIMM slots that you can access, perhaps a better cooling solution. And also, in the defense of the cooling, while it does get quite warm, maybe more so than any of my other laptops, it never perceivably impacted performance at all. There's plenty of information out there about the GA402s. If you didn't find what you were looking for here, I'm sure you'll be able to elsewhere. You guys have a great day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next video that I do.